Colonel Sanders has been considered one of the greatest cooks of the modern era, but his military service is largely unknown by most people. Today, we will discuss his life and his service in the Civil War. Colonel Sanders was born in Kentucky in 1829. As a youth, he would develop a deep appreciation for military strategy and fried foods. During college, he developed a recipe for fried chicken. After he graduated, he joined the U.S. Army. He soon rose through the ranks to make it to a colonel, and retired from the Army in 1859. Then, in 1861, the Civil War broke out, and Sanders was called back into action and served for the Union in the 56th Kentucky Infantry. The colonel helped the Union win decisive battles in Antietam, Donelson, and Gettysburg. During this time, he would share his recipes with his troops. This motivated the troops to keep going into the South. Colonel Sanders would spread this motivation to the other regiments by setting up restaurants and serving their food. These were called Kentucky Fried Chicken, or KFC. The first restaurants were set up in Philippi, Boonsville, and Haynesville. A few of these locations were controversial, including one in Antietam that was opened less than 10 minutes after the battle stopped. By the end of the war, there were over 20 locations across the battlegrounds of the Civil War. After the war finished, the restaurants were decommissioned. Colonel Sanders went back to Kentucky and in 1869 opened a fried chicken restaurant. In the 1890s, many Union soldiers were nostalgic for fried chicken, so in 1891, Colonel Sanders opened another location. Throughout the years, many locations across America were opened. Colonel Sanders died in 1919 at the age of 90. Today, KFC has grown to over 30,000 locations, and Colonel Sanders has been considered by many historians to be one of the great generals in history, alongside Alexander the Great and Napoleon. Colonel Sanders should be remembered not just as a food icon, but as one of the greatest military leaders in history.